Mr. Kenneth Baker to his record-breaking sales figures. In more than 3 decades since his death, his books have continued to sell in remarkable quantities, milestones in the cultural landscapes of successive generations, celebrated, imitated, and frequently adapted for stage, screen, and radio. As he regarded himself, very tall Roald Dahl, writer and commercial commodity, is a giant. He is also, as he was in his lifetime, a divisive figure. At its best, Roald's writing, both for children and adults, is lyrical, hilarious, vivid, unpredictable, tender, and utterly absorbing. His darkest fictions portray without regret a world of cruelty, cynicism, misanthropy, and caprice. In a story written for private circulation, P.L. Travers, creator of Mary Poppins, claimed, "Children have strong and deep emotions, but no mechanism to deal with them." Time and again, Roald provided his underdog heroes with the mechanisms for dealing with these emotions and the circumstances from which they might emerge. Roald's detractors condemn bullying, vituperation, stridency, subversion, and gratuitous scatology as characteristics of the man and his work. This Roald is coarse, misogynistic, and an anti-Semite. For all his denials, anti-Semitism did shape aspects of Roald's thinking. Irascible, dominant, and hectoring, he could be, as his 3-year-old son described him, just a wasp's nest. Grounds for critic Catherine Hughes's unsympathetic assessment of Roald as crashing through life like a big, bad child are clear, but this is a selective view, countered by testimony to Roald's charm, kindness, and generosity, and for the majority of his child readers, what Hughes castigates as Roald's grandiosity, dishonesty, and spite play no part in the writing that constitutes his continuing claim to our attention. In the second half of his life, with the success of his writing for children beginning in the 1960s, Roald repeatedly spoke and wrote about his work and the qualities within him that he believed uniquely equipped him to satisfy his audience. He denied any purpose behind his writing beyond an evangelical zeal for turning children into readers. There are very few messages in these books of mine. They're there simply to turn the child into a reader of books. Damn it all, they're mostly pure fantasy, he wrote to a linguistics student in 1989. He told an American academic, to whom he refused assistance with the writing of his biography, to look for the material he needed in the books themselves. Your book, if you are going to do it, would have to be primarily based on your own analysis of my work, which is basically what all biographies are. In the present work, I have, up to a point, followed this testy injunction. I have given consideration to Roald's verdict that the things that go into one's books come from one's imagination, from a small, secret part of the brain which is able to invent things and dream up funny stories, and his disclaimer that his books aim simply to entertain and engage. The picture that emerges is of a man, like most of us, composed of contradictions, responsible for a body of exceptional storytelling, and often, as he described himself, a jokey sort of fellow, with a liking for simple tricks and jokes and riddles and other childish things, unconventional and inventive. Certainly not perfectly ordinary. 1. Little Boy Blue, 1916 to 1930. I do not remember much of it. Not before, anyway. Not until it happened. I got it all wrong, commented Roald Dahl of his first draft of Matilda, his last full-length novel for children. He identified his mistakes in constructing his